fourth graders. So today we're going to think, pair, and share with a partner to learn about energy. So could I have someone help me with a demonstration? Awesome. Come right on up. Come over here. Okay, so what I want you to do, and you can, we'll start with these cards first. I want you to use your hand here, and I want you to kind of drop the card. Don't keep holding on to it, but I want you to push the car, let go, and you want it to hit this car, okay? And you guys are gonna observe what happens, so watch closely, okay? Awesome. Do you wanna do it again, just a little harder? Okay. Awesome. Okay, thank you. You can go ahead and sit down. So I want you to turn to your partner, first think, and then pair with your partner, and then share what you observed. Okay, so can we share what you guys came up with?
We just said that the first car made the other car move, and then the first car stopped.
Good, awesome. What about you guys?
Yeah, we said the same thing, and we said like the car that was being hit didn't like slide a long way; it just kind of moved a little bit and stopped.
And also, if we were using different cars, they might move further. So, like if this one's heavier, and we want to hit this car, shouldn't have rolled over. But yeah, this one, what did we see with this one? Did it move further? Right. Okay. So let's kind of think about why this happened. So we have this car down here. What was my hand doing in order to make this car move? Or her hand?
Push it.
Push it. So what's a push? Is that a force? Awesome. Good job. Yeah. So my hand was pushing the car, which was a force, causing it to have energy to move down the ramp and then hitting this car, which made this car move. So that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Energy, force, and then transferable energy. So energy is the ability to do work and the ability to move something with a force. So exactly what that car was doing. And then just like you said, a force is a push, but it can also be a pull. So that is what a force is. And the force, you said that the force that moved the car was my hand. So that was very, very good. The work that takes place is when the force, so the force from my hand pushing the car, giving it energy, moved this car, and you guys said that it moved it, so it moved it a distance. And that's how we know that work was happening, when a force makes an object move a distance. So I want you to, again, think, pair, and share with your partner what you think transferable energy is. And I kind of want you to think about what you saw happening here. So think, pair, and share what transferable energy might be. Go ahead.
I think it's like when the first car agrees, and the first car stopped.
Okay, so you guys want to share what you guys came up with? Anyone?
We said that the energy transferred from the first car to the second car when it hit.
And so when it hit the car, that's when the energy was transferred? Which car transferred energy? First car or the second car?
First one.
The first car. So the first car transferred energy to car number 2. Here? Awesome. Okay. And so what I want us to think about is, I want you to think about in this room or in your home or anywhere you spend time, I want you to think about things that might transfer energy. So kind of similar to this, just think about what you know and things that you use every day, what might transfer energy. So again, think, pair, and share with your partner about what might transfer energy. You can think about in this room or at home, maybe in your kitchen. Think about things that might transfer energy. Yeah. That's some really good ideas. Okay, do we want to share some of the ideas that we came up with? Just take a stab at it.
We were talking about like when you heat up an oven and then it like heats up a pan.
Awesome. And so what would be transferring that energy?
The stove.
Right. And the stove is producing heat. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Heat is energy. Like she said, the heat from the stove was was helping to cook. So that heat is transferred in that energy. What about light? Do we think light is energy? Can light heat something up? Yeah? So is that transferable energy? Okay. What about sound? Is sound energy? Raise your hand if you think sound is energy. No? Okay. So I want to ask you this. What about a doorbell? When you push a doorbell, you're using...
Force.
Yes. Yes, good job using force. But through a doorbell, there's electricity, right? Right? When the power goes out, the doorbell doesn't work. So when you push that doorbell and it creates sound, is that being transferred? Yeah, because we're using electricity when we're pushing it, and then a sound is made. So just kind of like using heat to cook food, that energy is being transferred as well. So I want us to look at pictures. You already kind of mentioned this one. So we see steam rising. And this is because something was being cooked, and we're using heat, and that energy is being transferred. Now, I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to tell me if you think energy is being transferred. What is it, first of all? It's a wind-up toy. So how do we use a wind-up toy? Has anyone ever used a wind-up toy? Right. So what do you do to make this toy work?
You twist a little knob on the side
And then it moves. So are we transferring energy there? Yeah, we're using our hand to crank that toy and then to make it move. Yeah, so we're transferring energy there as well. So some other things that we can talk about that transfer energy. We talked about a doorbell. What about some things in our kitchen? We talked about the stove. What about a toaster? Would that be transferable? Right, okay. And then I like to think about this one, since we are in Kansas. Has anyone ever seen a windmill? A windmill, right. So what are those big blades doing? Does anyone know? Yes, awesome, good job. Turning wind into energy. So we're using that force from the wind, and it's turning the big panels. You're turning the big panels to create energy. Awesome. So what I want you guys to do, hand you each a piece of paper. Does everyone have a writing utensil? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then you guys can each pick a piece of candy. Don't eat it just yet. All right. So what I want you to do, you can go ahead and open your candy and pop it in your mouth. And while you're eating this candy, I want you to write down on your piece of paper your thoughts on energy transfer. Do you think that this is an energy transfer? Do you think that you can just put yes, no, you can write why, and then go ahead and do that. Just write your thoughts while you're eating this candy, what you think, if it's energy transfer.
Recess.